Hey everybody, back again. Cruising through Stanford on the way home. I thought I'd stop since I was still awake and it's all quiet here except for some crickets and tree frogs in the background. I think there's a couple drunk people a few hundred feet away from me. They're making a lot of noise, but anyway, pretty quiet otherwise. This is the Cantor Center for Visual Arts, and it used to be called the Leland Stanford Junior Museum, I think. But I guess Cantor donated some money or something, and now you get the Cantor name on here. So, but the museum is obviously closed because it's like almost 1 in the morning. It's about 45 degrees outside right now, so a lot of people are not hanging out. I have a couple layers on, so I'm out here. I'm fine, but it's quite chilly. A little bit of a breeze too, but so I thought I'd drop by here and show this place. I'll have to do something on the inside one time. They have it's a free museum, and they have some really cool collections in there. Some are rotating, some are fixed, and there's a special thing off to the side if you saw the title, and if you didn't, it's the Rodin Sculpture Garden, which is open 24/7 because it's outdoors with lights on it, and beautiful bronze casts of all the Rodin. So a lot of the Rodin classics. A proper cast of the Thinker, actually sculpted in 1904. I didn't know it was that old. Is inside the museum, so you can see it through the glass. I'll have to show you through the glass, but there's obviously a replica of the Thinker inside the gates of hell, which is outside. So you can at least see a small Thinker, but the proper giant-sized Thinker, which is the standard one, is inside, protected from the elements. So anyway, if you saw my New Guinea Sculpture Garden thing the other day, you know the Thinker reference, because they also saw the Thinker when they came here and made their own totem carved version of the Thinker out of wood. So I'm not sure what the yo means. I think it's pretty annoying, but yo Adrian, or maybe it's a hip hop thing, I don't know. But anyway, so here's the sign for the place. Cantor Center for Visual Arts. There are some really nice sculptures out front. From Roman times. So it's at a weird angle, so I can't get too close, but you see the scale of giant feet. Beautiful carving of the cloth, and huge head, but beautiful marble sculpture there. And of course you have your these are Ionic column here, but up top is more of a Dorian style. Corinthian has the more ornate flowery kind of thing. So from what I remember about columns, but I'm not a super art history nerd. But they have some cool paintings in the doorways and banners for stuff up and coming. Now it's oi, so that's it's the Jewish version of yo. Oi, is she mental? That was a great thing from making fun of Barbra Streisand's Yentl on Saturday Night Live. They called it mental instead of Yentl. Joe Piscopo played Barbra Streisand. It's very funny. So here is the okay, it's Nandro is this character sitting on his little Roman chair, his little throne, with the lots of detail here. The pillow spilling over the chair. Again, the cloth carving and marble is beautiful. And facial features, very, very serious face there. And even stuff from the behind is, even the back of the chair has some detail, and the draping over the chair. Oh, you heard one bell chime from the campanile nearby. So he's chilling out in his chair. So that's a quick shot of the front of the museum and some of the goodies that are always out here to check out. Now off to the main event. By the way, this is just off of the main road, University Avenue, from downtown Palo Alto. Goes straight into the campus and becomes Palm Drive, lined with these Phoenix date palms. So here's one of them. Right here is a small one, but the whole road is lined with these. There's some over here too, here and there, but anyway, there's the sign for Cantor Art Center for the parking. Nice trees out in front, lots of other kinds of trees. I think this is might be a Himalayan spruce. I forgot, it's been a while. Oh, and Mars is still up. Probably can't see it here, but it's in the middle of Gemini, looks like there, hanging out. All right, so come over here, and you have lots of nice sculptures to look at. So there you go. Rodin Sculpture Garden. So Rodin, Auguste Rodin, lived in the late 1800s to early 1900s. I forgot the exact dates. I think he might have died in like 1914 or something like that. There's the Cantor Sculpture Garden. And so like I said, the Thinker was 1904. A bunch of these other ones, I think they have dates on them here, but I don't remember. Some of the lights aren't working, unfortunately. So I'll cover the ones with lights real quick, and then I'll go to my car and get the last few covered lights. So this one's called this is from 1917, so I guess he did live quite a bit longer than I said. The Three Shades, 1881 to 1883. So it's three dudes hanging out. He's famous for texturing his clay in a certain way, and also making like giant hands and giant feet on all the characters. When you walk around this exhibit, the hand's just huge compared to the guy's arm and his head. But you know, it's art. It's not supposed to be anatomically correct 100%. From what I remember from his style, because some of these took a long time to finish, and most people will not stand there unless they were maybe slaves or well-paid people to hang around. He would often sculpt people, or he actually cast people's bodies, make a cast of their body in the pose he wanted, and then he would use that for reference for extended periods of time. So a lot of these were not cast directly from life. Probably some of the early ones were. I'd have to go back and read more about him, but I remember seeing a book many years ago that showed some of his process for some of these things where, again, no one's going to sit still for months or even a year or so to every day to do the same exact pose. Like someone would do an art class for a sketch for the day or something like that. So he had to cast them and make a mold, and then make an actual positive to use as reference when he was doing the actual clay sculpting. So interesting technique. But since he was a one-man shop, I guess that's really the only choice he had. I'm sure he had assistants, but in general, a lot of these guys worked alone. This one's called... Oh, is that the label, or is that somebody's name? I thought some of these might have had names of the someone who donated to help or something. Fallen. Man, I have to get the light. Obviously, I can't use the light on this thing because there's no light feature in YouTube to enable the light that I can see here. I'll have to go get the light from the car, but you can just appreciate the sculpture in this light with the glinting highlights and shadows. It's very nice at night. Your eyes obviously pick up more than this camera's doing. This is a female reclining, but it's very dark, so I'll get the car light for that one. Let's go to a couple that are well illuminated before I go get the light. Here's the gates of hell. It's huge. Up on this platform. Go up these steps. So there's Eve and there's Adam. And the fun thing is you can make the shadows move. Since you have fixed points. So you can get the perfect shot you want. Adam's shadow that way. Get the gates of hell there. Come over here and get Eve's shadow where you want it. And because you're having multiple light sources here, a little bit from my left, a little bit from my right, you're getting that softer shadow on the right. You get a hard shadow and a softer shadow, which is kind of cool. So this says just Eve Auguste Rodin. Doesn't say a date, but easy to look up. But yeah, she's hiding herself here. Very not smooth at all. Very textured for effect, I suppose. Because you're going to do a final bronze cast or cast to make a bronze. You're going to basically make it exactly the way you want it. So he adds a lot of texture to his work, whereas other people would make it perfectly smooth. Adam's a little smoother over here, and he's got some good muscle definition here. He's checking out his triceps there. Again, huge hands, but look at the detail on the quadriceps muscles and stuff. It's pretty cool. His calf muscles are bulging like a runner. Huge feet. And he's also hiding himself here. That's a cool backdrop with the shadow. It's almost like Nosferatu. And then here's the gates of hell. So the thinker is right there. A small version of the thinker right up in the middle. And then the three those three brothers we showed earlier, or whatever they were called, I forgot. The bigger model over there are also on the top here as well, in the middle. So a lot of these individual sculptures were actually part of the gates of hell, apparently. And it's just great. If you saw the movie what's the Al Pacino movie where Keanu Reeves is his son? Devil's Advocate, I think it was. There's a great scene in there where he has this weird sculpture painting behind him, like 3D sculpture thingy. And at some point when he finally reveals who he is to Keanu Reeves, spoiler alert, the painting comes alive and has all these bodies swirling, clearly stolen the idea from the gates of hell here. Because you see all this liquid mass and bodies like it's lava or ocean or some kind of thick liquid splashing about as they writhe about in ecstasy and agony all at the same time. Bent in all different directions. This one's got some, those don't look like back muscles. Those look like, almost like wings. Wings that are cut off or something. And then I see people upside down, and there's even like babies in here. Here's somebody sticking out. There's two people. These people are embracing, but not having a good time. There's a woman with a baby right there. There's people like, doing like gymnastics here. This guy's doing like a power dive, going backward here. This one's trying to climb up onto the frame. This one's falling off the frame up there. This guy's climbing up but ready to fall. Here's one with wings, cruising around. Just all kinds of stuff. More torturous and emotional than the Hieronymus Bosch thing we did for Hardboard Jams, the hell part of the triptych. Look at the face on that one. So there's a big butt right there. So here's this one diving in, here's this one falling out, feet coming out of nowhere. These look like wings that are folded over. Some thing, and here's some little babies here on the sides. So they got babies all over the place. So this probably created quite a stir, along with the nudity when it came out. There's a baby. It looks happy, but it's in hell, you know. That's a great one up there. The tortured look on this character. Look at this. I'll zoom in on that. So yeah, some really cool sculpture here. Obviously better during the day for all the details, but this intense light here, there's a little baby on the side here, makes it more dramatic and cool at nighttime. But during the day you can, as long as the sun isn't really hitting this too hard, you can sit here and study it pretty well. See the stuff up there much better. There's a lot of shadow in there with all kinds of people holding up bodies and people standing there, and it's a crazy mass of just bodies and shit all over the place. So yeah, that's Gates of Hell. There's a plaque over here, but it's kind of dark. It's hard to see it. It's all like half covered in shadow. But yeah, it's definitely the centerpiece of this whole sculpture garden. You can see as I pan across here, several different exhibits here, but it's quite stunning. You see people often sitting in this little centerpiece here and just studying it for minutes at a time, just taking it all in. It's pretty impressive stuff. So that's Gates of Hell. Go down and look at a couple more well-lighted stuff, and then I'll have to bring a light out for the rest. This one's cool. This is a character holding a block of stone in this curled up pose. A block of stone on top here. But look at all the details. The hair, the musculature in the back. This is a female, obviously. So she's got some clothing draped around her, mostly nude, and she's bearing the weight of this horrible rock. Does it say what it is here? This is Fallen Carvarid? I guess that's what it says. Fallen Carvarid with stone. So again, a lot of this has biblical references, obviously Gates of Hell and all that stuff. Here's another one. We'll be bearing the weight of some stone. This is interesting because the stone, so here's this guy reaching up. You can't, I gotta get the light for this one, but he's got a column of stone next to him he's holding on to, but coming out of the stone at the top is a disembodied hand as part of the stone. It's just bizarre. And here's the back. You can see the musculature and stuff. Big feet. Actually, his feet aren't as big as the other ones, but very impressive stuff. The label's in the dark, so I'll have to get the light for that. There's one up on a column here. Let's get a light for that one too. This one's also too dark to see on a giant pedestal. And now he has some other characters in some fancy clothes. Almost like something from the Three Musketeers. He's got boots and his baggy pants and his coats with the big hanging parts over like the epaulets. He's very dramatic, holding his hand like, "Arr." Very determined face. And this is, yeah, it's too dark, I can't see it. Eyes are getting too old, and it is dark anyway. These are funny, these heads. Got some disembodied heads here. And one of these I actually did some 3D scanning, some photogrammetry, and did my little Tesla joke video of the Cybertruck. This guy right here, the Burger of Calais, I did a 3D scan of him and put him on top of a Cybertruck as their new official ornament for the accessories collection. Made it look even more stupid than it does, but it was just a visual joke. The scan is actually really good, but there's a couple different versions of Burger of Calais. And why it's just his head and why he has this look on his face, maybe he was decapitated, who knows. He may have had the guillotine. I don't know the history of the Burger of Calais. So more stuff to research. There's another little gravel garden here. With this guy, it looks like he's doing some workout routine. Very stiff with his arms forward. He's missing a barbell. There's a torso here. Male torso, no arms, no legs, no head. Very good musculature. Again, a guy walking with no head, no arms on a piece of material. I'll get the light for this. Another torso. It's a female torso, no arms, no head. And this one here, which is almost like a Venus de Milo with no arms, cut off legs, no head, and very slight figure. So, very nice. She has back though. Look at that. But also musculature in the back. It's nice. And then you go up the steps, you get a view into the Cantor Center where they have the indoor Rodins, including the massive Thinker that's protected at the original size. Very large. Look at that. So you can see the nearby chairs in the distance, not that far away for reference. It's a very big sculpture. There it is. And this beautiful colonnade with other stuff all around it. So it has a room almost all to itself. A few more things upstairs. And these nice columns around it. So giving it proper respect. So let me go get the light real quick. Just show a few more details, then I'll head out. It's getting pretty damn cold here. It's been colder lately. 45 is not terrible compared to, well, it was about 40 a few days ago. And then about 2 weeks ago, I think, at about 3 in the morning driving around, it was 26 degrees and very foggy in one spot. Passed by the gates of hell again with the nice shadows. You can even see the three guys at the top casting a shadow on the wall there. Same three guys that are over there. So, let me go get my light real quick. It's like the drunk people over there left. I don't hear them anymore. Here's a quick map of the area, but again, I have to get a light to show that. So let me go get the light real quick. You can listen to the froggies while I get this set up here. my damn light. I hope I put it back in an easy to find spot. Ah, there it is. Easy peasy. All right. Okay, light to the rescue again. So I'm going to go through all these real quick and read the labels and show them. So a little extra light on these guys, now you can really see them. Here's the label. The 3 shades. So look, it's done in 2 pieces, 1881 and 1883 and 1901 and 1902. Crazy. And then the cast was done in 1980 for this collection. Here is the site map. So there's Lomita Drive, where I just got my car. So you have the 3 shades, meditation without arms. That's the female figure over here. Meditation with arms. Fallen. Oh yeah, the fallen caryatid carrying an urn. The martyr. Fallen caryatid carrying her stone. I already showed you that one. And then there's Orpheus on the column. And monument to Claude Lorraine. And back here was that guy in the fancy outfit. Monument to Bastien Lepage. And then here's the 2. Oops. I think the motor's getting hot on my gimbal. Sorry about that. I'll have to hand hold it now. What do we got here? Yeah, so we got that one. There's the Burger of Calais. Twice. The head. And then there's a nude study from Jean Dare. That was the first one I showed you. Then monumental male torso. The Walking Man. Prayer was that one, looks like Venus. And Sybil. And then you have Adam, Eve, and the Gates of Hell. So that's your whole layout of the Rodin Sculpture Garden. Let's do this slowly. You can do a frame grab if you want to read this. Don't have time right now. Okay. So this was the meditation. Meditation without arms. See? Missing an arm. It's got some weird stuff on the one breast and her hair on the other breast and the face and body. Yeah, the leg's a little messed up here. And it always has some kind of a gloppy stone base. Big feet. Look at the big feet there. But nice, nice overall shape. Good back contour. Get a little bit of my old joke about the scoliosis. There's the scoliosis action there. There's a nice butt. And then back. So that's meditation. Then we've got think this is meditation with arms. Yes, meditation according to the chart over there. Meditation with arms. Our feet look better here. Huge again. Different pose. A little bit. Still hiding herself a little bit. Being very shy. Huge hands. Look at those hands. Holy smokes. Now you get both the arms there, forming a little pose. And again, a really twisted, huge foot there. Really twisted. Not so much twisted back on this one, a little bit twisted, yeah. Still a little bit of a scoliosis action there. That's meditation with arms. Then we've got the martyr. This is the woman spread out. Apparently dead. Spread out on the thing. Her arms over there. And eyes appear to be closed. And the hair's messed up. That's terrible. I go back to these three guys. Again, oh no, you see them from the back now. Since the backlight wasn't working. And you can see the back. Great musculature. I mean, even the detail around all this stuff here. The electronon process and all the muscles from the forearm coming in here. And the triceps and stuff. Very, very good musculature depicted here. Gastrocnemius has a nice shape to it on the calf there. Huge hands. Got some great intercostal muscles there doing their thing. And yeah, really cool stuff. What's next? This is one of the fallen something. Fallen caryatid with urn. So a nice cloth there again. Kind of a sad or shy thing. There's an urn. A nicely made urn with a top on it. Who knows if it's ashes or what the hell it is. And then his signature. Very no-nonsense signature. Big feet. Again, great back detail there. Little details on the urn, little flowers and stuff. So yeah, pretty cool. And then this is the caryatid with rock. Again, at least there's a cloth under the rock, so it's a little better than just having a big, sharp, heavy rock on your shoulders and your neck. But great cloth detail here. Can you sign this one too somewhere? Don't see it. So there's even got that raised spine in the back there a little bit. Pretty cool. And just to get you got the toes there, spreading the toes. There's the label just so you can see it. Now what we got? This is, couldn't see this label earlier. This is Orpheus. Probably depicting Orpheus in the underworld, which is also a famous classical piece. There's his hand reaching out. Got a pained expression on his face. Not looking too happy. Carrying this big old chunk of whatever. It has, as I showed earlier, a disembodied hand on it. There's one leg. And there's the other leg. So he clearly sculpted, except for the really muscular guys, he clearly sculpted very thin men or very muscular men. He generally had much thicker women, much bigger bodied women for his models, which I think was the motif of the time. They weren't into waifs back then like the fashion industry is now. And here's the one way up here. I can probably barely light it up. This light isn't that strong. And this is also, who is this? Oh, Spirit of Eternal Repose. There you go. Up on his little column. Very dark, so hard to illuminate it. Could probably take this video and adjust the contrast of it. Very far away. This one's a little closer on a giant square pedestal. This is Claude Lorraine. Sitting here with his paint palette in his hand, which should be holding a brush, but the brush is not there. And big old head of hair. He's in his full-length boots to his knee with a folded top, like you get on the Three Musketeers. He's got some kind of a coat on, and he's on a big block of stuff. Then we get to the fancy guy over here. Similar clothing. Makes me think of D'Artagnan from Three Musketeers. So he's here in his little boots with the coverings of the shoes there. This is Jules Bastien Lepage standing on his little thing there. He's holding his fist like he's concentrating there. The other one is down here. He's got a very serious look at it. Looks like he had a mustache or something. I scanned some of these as 3D models during the day. But like I said, it's cool to see them at night with the different reflections and highlights and contrasts. Here are the Burgh of Calais heads I mentioned earlier on their pedestals. Jean de Burgh of Calais. This is the one I put on the Cybertruck. Great facial expression there. So I'll have to look him up because perhaps he was decapitated since he's only shown here as a head. Oh, there's another one. Two different burghers. Pierre de Wissant, Burgh of Calais. So I was right. They're both burghers, but they're different guys. Also doesn't look very happy. So what they might have done is done a life cast. They used to do that, those death masks for people who are dead. Like a basically plaster mask. But they might have done a whole life cast of this guy when he was decapitated. And this guy decided to make a giant version of it for posterity. Quite, you can see the neck. He's put him on top of a base, but that's where the neck got sliced, or is perceived to be sliced if he was decapitated. And a few more over here. I love this one during the day. It cracks me up. It's like he's straining or he's really pissed off. This is Jean de Burgh of Calais in full body form. Now, whether or not he was actually nude at some point, or he used an artist model to do this, he's got some weird issue with his belly button here. There's some gloppy mess with the casting or the original model, who knows, but he's holding something here. And he's got a nice fist here. All kinds of detail on his arms. And there he is again with that stern look on his face. You will not cut my head off. Oh, wait, sorry. We're going to do that. And again, very skinny guy. Most of his male models are either skinny or super muscular. Nothing in between. He doesn't seem to do fat guys. So, but yeah, pretty good. And I got a few more here. Got torso of the falling man. Now, is he actually falling, or is he a fallen man, as in from the gates of hell? I don't know. This one's got a lot of weird patina on it from being in the elements. Maybe it wasn't stored well after it was cast. Much more weird. He's missing his arms and his head, of course. But yeah, interesting. And then they have this headless, armless, walking character, or standing character. Very odd looking. And this is the Walking Man, bronze cast. So he's walking, but he's missing some key elements to continue to walk. So yeah, more interesting stuff. And this is Seated Woman, Sybil, or Sibel. Again, huge feet, just giant figure. Her torso is not big, but her legs are massive and her feet are massive. So the scale is weird. Again, missing arms. Well, at least missing the left arm. The right arm is here, curled up, and the head is missing. And she's seated on some rock post of some kind, rocky outcrop. Yeah. And the last one is the one that reminds me of Venus de Milo. Soft features, not a giant frame, very well sculpted. Even has like the belly. It's got a little bit of a belly sticking out there. And then the not to be crass, but badonkadonk. There you go. So yeah, it's a nice sculpture. And this was again what? Prayer. Not exactly sure. Maybe praying for a head and arms. I'm not sure. Very interesting. So yeah, then you already saw the Cantor Center. Overall, it's a nice big building. Lots of stuff inside. And then we're back to Gates of Hell. I can show you the back of Adam and Eve. It's Adam. Really nice musculature. Good contrast with that warm light. This is a cold light and that's a warm light, so you get an interesting mix of colors and sheen. And there's Eve. You can see her face a little better with this light. It's a little messed up, but she needs a nose job. But it's got some sculpted hair. She also's got some of this patina on her from the elements. Her feet are not as big as some of the other models. It made her look pretty fair, pretty slight. There you go. And no point lighting up this. There's pretty good light on this already. Might be a few things you can see better if I show this guy's face. A couple of different angles here you can see. Very, very human, lifelike faces. Really well sculpted. There's somebody diving in, the legs and butt sticking out. There's a whole cluster of people there kind of morphed together. Go upside down here. It's a whole, bodies here. This one's reaching up. It's got some rib cage action there on this one. Reaching up. Some of these are just kind of basic shapes embedded in the muck. And then there's the almost the ballet action going here. Pretty cool. One more shot of that one with the wings here. That's pretty neat. I like the wings. This one right here. Pretty crazy. Yeah, so that's Rodin Sculpture Garden. Actually, I should do this. Well, goo like this than I did the red thing last night. Let's put the red on this guy's face. He's trapped in hell. Anyway. Not last night, 2 nights ago at the New Guinea Sculpture Garden. So yeah, sorry, I had to use my hand. The gimbal gave up the ghost. It was getting too warm. It's odd because it's cold out here, but I was moving the gimbal around so much it was having to torque, and the motor started to overheat. I think this gimbal's starting to give up the ghost. I might have to buy another one pretty soon. So anyway, that's the garden. Various benches and places to sit out here. You could have a little table there. You could have a picnic while you're checking out the sculptures. During the day, it's kind of crazy sometimes. There's a lot of people in the way getting pictures and stuff, so it's hard for you to stand there and get a nice unblocked view of things or get your own pictures, you know what I mean? So, it's one of those things where best to come when it's, not crazy hours like this, unless you want to see it at night, all by yourself. This is a good time, obviously. But these are my 2 favorite things on campus. The church is nice too, and the Christmas thing I missed this year because I was over in San Jose, or last year, the end of last year. I was over in San Jose. You saw my stream on that one that got messed up. The fucking YouTube Zoom got screwed up again. But that one didn't have a nice pipe organ. It was just somebody playing a piano or something. So I missed coming here because their church here that they do the midnight mass, the pipe organ is very tasty. So I'm not there for the pomp and circumstance. I'm there for the pipe organ. So they don't have that many concerts here from what I remember throughout the year. You just have to be lucky. So, but it is a proper, legitimate pipe organ. It sounds beautiful. So one of these days I'll get some footage there so you guys can hear it. But just to give you an idea where I am, I'm off like I said, I'm off the main drag, Palm Drive, just that way. And this road is parallel to Palm Drive here. And you should be able to see the Campanile, the bell tower, which is right by the church. But these trees are quite bushy and tall, so you're not seeing it. But this is Lomita Drive. And if you remember my other stream, Lomita Drive takes you right by New Guinea Sculpture Garden. Unfortunately, it's broken. You can't go straight through here because of campus structure. So you think you can drive straight through, but it's a dead end for anything but bikes and pedestrians. So, but it's the same road, Lamita Drive, going all the way through to get to the Sculpture Garden, and then continue on the Sculpture Garden up to the Stanford Karma building, where all the cool music shit's going on. Let me just go over here a little bit. You can get a peek of the campanile above the trees. It's really bushy here. And it hasn't chimed more than that one bell, so maybe they don't do it at night to disturb the students and faculty, I guess. But you can kind of see it peeking through the trees there a little bit. Let me walk a little further down. But it's a shame because it's nice having the bell tower once in a while do its chimes. This is the Stanford map. They're all over the place. Okay, here we go. We're gonna get a break in the trees. And there's the very top of the campanile. Right there. So you can see roughly where I am in relation to the end of the campus loop, they call it. You take Palm Drive all the way up, has a big old loop for drop-offs for the people going to the church and to that part of campus. So yeah, it's a short walk from the church over here to the museum. And to be honest, not that far of a walk up Lomita Drive that way to the Sculpture Garden. So you don't have to drive up there. You could walk there from here. But there are other parts of campus that are quite far away. It is a big campus. And including lots of housing, well beyond the actual classroom areas and stuff. There's lots of housing, technically part of the Stanford campus, where like the frats live. Students that didn't want to have dorms, they want to have proper housing. They can share housing. They're on the outer section of campus. Because Stanford is technically its own little city next to Palo Alto. A very slight city, but it's considered a city, last I heard. But it's kind of funny because even Google Maps has some issues. You drive around, I'll just go drive over there. No, you can't go there. Even though it says you might be able to go there, some of these dead ends are not clearly spelled out. And there are roundabouts all over campus. You have to get used to, first left, second, first turnout, second turnout, third turnout. Sometimes to continue going straight, that's just taking the second turnout, going around the bend. But sometimes you have to go to the third because suddenly you're going the wrong way. And so yeah, that's what you got. Now coming back toward the Sculpture Garden again. And more palms. So I'll end it there. It's getting late. Public safety just made their rounds. The campus version of 5.0. And yeah, I'm just here doing shots. They don't give a shit. But I'm getting tired. Time to go home. They're coming around anyway, so maybe they are going to ask me what I'm doing here. But that's about it. So thanks, everybody. And I'll check the comments later if you guys were here. I haven't had a chance to look at the comments. Too busy looking at the sculptures. So catch you later. Yeah, they just flashed a light at me like, we know you're here. And yes, that's my car. Don't fuck with it. They're looking for people probably sleeping on campus. So that won't be me. I'm going home. So thanks again, everybody. Catch you later.